Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fall. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
It's a disease, without question, has more names than any disease in history. I can name Kung Flu. I can name 19 different versions of name.
Lady in the hat in the background was like, you, woo, Kung Flu, yeah. President said that in Tulsa to a far less than full crowd, but with people in this country dying even as he spoke, he instead chose to riff a bit. Maybe he thought a little racism would give the light crowd a jolt.
Yeah.
And now here's Kayleigh McEnany trying to say that he didn't actually say what you just saw him say.
Last July, President Trump declared himself the least racist person there is anywhere in the world. Why does he use racist phrases like the Kung Flu?
The president doesn't.
He did.
I don't know how much they paid Kayleigh McEnany, but it's probably not enough because when the reporter says the president called himself the least racist person of anyone in the world, Kayleigh McEnany is like, that's right. That's what he is. Keep it on us. Yeah. Let's just dim the gaslight a moment and just play you again what Kayleigh McEnany said the president did not say.
By the way, it's a disease, without question, has more names than any disease in history. I can name Kung Flu.
Why does he use racist phrases like the Kung Flu?
The president doesn't.
The president just did. I mean, it's like, right, this is how good a demagogue he is. This is how good a propagandist he is. Fox News is a propaganda channel. It's all it does. It's just full of disinformation, misinformation, disorienting information, wrong information, bad information, opposite of truth information. It just spews anything you want to have permission to feel or think or do. That's what it does. It gives you permission to hate, to look down on, to denigrate, to say there's no emergency when there clearly is one, to do what you want to do, even though you're infecting your neighbors or your neighbors are infecting you. To listen, it's bizarro world out there. The whole thing is upside down and through the looking glass, and up is down and black is white, and we're through the looking glass. And Fox has always been like that. Now you got a president who's a reality TV star. That's his claim to fame. That and 6 bankruptcies, maybe 9. Paying off a hooker on the sly and getting caught doing it. Defrauding students at Trump University. Having an airline go bankrupt. Having a steak company go bankrupt. Having water go bankrupt. The house always wins except at Trump casinos where he lost. And his father had to go into the casino, buy $3 million worth of chips, and then walk out the door without using them so that the casino could take in $3 million so he could pay a loan, a payment on a loan, and still lost the casino. He had a guy come and give him $3 million to make a payment on a loan on his casino, and he still lost the casino. I mean, come on. This is craziness. This is mass madness, you maniacs, you. And it's causing Asian doctors, my God, what's wrong with people? To be spat upon?
Dr. Wen, you told our producer that every time you're on air talking about coronavirus, you experience backlash over your ethnicity firsthand. Can you explain what's been happening?
Sure, Anderson. This is the first time that I've talked about this because, it just hasn't seemed like something I wanted to talk about before, but important to. Every time I write a paper or am on your town hall or otherwise I'm speaking about coronavirus and giving advice on reducing risk for people and their families, I get messages calling me a bat eater, telling me to go back to my own country, saying that I should admit that it's, quote unquote, my people who are causing this virus. And I have friends and colleagues who are Asian American doctors and nurses who patients are spitting on them and refusing to be treated by them because they are the ones who are carrying this virus. Now, all of us as health professionals, we do our jobs. We move on, we do our best, we internalize this, and we don't let this bother us as much as we can. But I think the fact is that this doesn't have to be this way. We see leaders in other countries, our own state and local leaders, many of them step up and speak out against racism and xenophobia. And really, the president of the United States should be doing the same. Yeah, that'll happen. I mean, you know, the racism that he is so famous for is so contagious, just like I told you. You know, a long, long time ago when he first was running, I told you that he is a malignant narcissist and that they are contagious. The people around them get infected with the narcissism that the malignant narcissist is, emoting, so that they walk on eggshells around this person and they never call them out for the things that they're doing and the trouble they're causing and the discomfort that they bring just by being them. And there's no cure for it. There's no cure for it. Now, you know, we have an election coming up. We probably won't even know who won unless it's a blowout on November 3rd. We have a primary today. We have a primary today in New York and Kentucky and Virginia. And, you know, a lot of people, because of the COVID, they're wanting to vote by mail. Now, not a lot of people got their mail-in ballots by, Election Day in Kentucky. And, Lexington, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville has 767,000 people. One polling place. One. Lexington, Kentucky, one. So this whole attempt at voting, this whole attempt at staying healthy, this whole attempt at protecting your family from COVID, this is such a long, hard slug. I just can't even imagine that this is who we want to be. It doesn't make any sense that this is what we think we are or who we want to be.
Is this who we are? Is this who we want to be? Is this who we want to pass on to our children and our grandchildren? Fear, anger, finger pointing? Or do we want to be the America we know we can be? The America we know in our hearts we could be and should be. You know, I've said from the outset of this election that we're in the battle for the soul of this nation. American history isn't a fairy tale with a guaranteed happy ending. The battle for the soul of this nation has been a constant push and pull for more than 240 years. In some of our darkest moments of despair, we've made some of our greatest progress. We stand together, finally as one America, we'll rise stronger than we were before. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
You know, like him, don't like him. That message is one I really, really, really believe in. This is not who we are. This is not who we want to be. Most Americans, and I know that because the polling clearly shows that a large plurality, a large majority of Americans just want this national nightmare to be over. The idea that the man endangers 6,200 people's lives so he could get on a stage and talk about his motor skills being intact because he could drink a glass of water, or stand on a stage and talk about leather-bottom shoes being slippery on a ramp that, by the way, has skid-proof strips on it. The West Point ramp, 3-degree angle, not exactly scary. A man who stands on the stage and calls a virus a racist name because it's defeating him and his candidacy. And everybody around him going to jail, being indicted, pleading guilty, Bill Barr, a mob boss, lawyer, saying, oh, well, I don't care if you pled guilty. I'm going to get the charges dismissed even though you pled. You said you did it, but you know what? We're going to say you didn't. We're going to take it back for you. Just firing U.S. attorneys that obviously are making cases against Rudy Giuliani, another personal attorney, made a case against Michael Cohen, another personal attorney. This is the destruction of law and order. Go to to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.